Hello and welcome to our video on iClicker Cloud's advanced features. Before viewing this video, please be sure to view our video on the basics of iClicker Cloud or schedule a call with one of our team members to learn about getting started with iClicker. Today's video will focus on features that can be used once you've already gotten up and running with iClicker. Today we'll be looking at the iClicker Cloud Quick Join option for students, AI Question Creator, pre-created quizzing and asynchronous assignments, groups, events, and support. The first feature that we'll be looking at today is our iClicker Quick Join feature. As an easy way to get students into your course, you can use our Quick Join link or QR code. To find this before classes begin, you can look in your settings in your course page and find the link to either copy and send to students or download the QR code to send to them before class begins. Once class has begun and you're ready to start things in class, you can find that Quick Join code under your course name on your iClicker desktop software. By clicking that link, you can have the QR code up and running as students walk into class, or they can type in the URL as you see here, or copy and send out to your students from this place here. By clicking that link, students can easily join your course. They'll have the option to either sign into their account or create a new account from that page. Our next feature is our AI Question Creator. To use this feature, you can sign into iClicker.com as an instructor, and on the page where you would normally find your courses, you can find the button that says AI Question Sets. From this page, you'll see there's a button at the top that says Create Question Set. You can choose the discipline that you'd like to use, enter your own question topics, or use a file to create your own questions. And then choose how many questions of each type you'd like. We have multiple choice, short answer, numeric, and multiple answer questions available in our AI Question Creator. After choosing the number of questions that you'd like to use, you can use our additional settings at the bottom. From here, you can choose from taxonomy, learning strategies, question depth, and question level. Once you've chosen any additional settings, you can use the button at the bottom that says Create. After just a few moments, you'll see your questions populate for you. If you'd like to edit any questions, you can use this pencil icon to the right and edit any wording that you'd like or change any of the answers. If a question does not work for you or you believe that it needs to be flagged for attention, you can use our flag option over at the side. You can choose the reason why you do not like that question. If you're satisfied with all the questions and answers, you can click on the Save and Close button at the top right corner. And from this page, you'll be able to choose how you may want to use those questions. If you look for the ellipses at the top right-hand corner, you can choose if you'd like to go back and edit any of those questions later. You can present questions, giving you a way to show these in class in the same way that you would on slides. You can view the answers with the eye icon at the top. And when you're done, you can go ahead and close that out. From that button, you can also download your questions. You can choose to bring these in as a slide deck or as a PDF. When you're done looking at your question sets, you can get back to your main page by clicking the question sets icon here to view any other question sets you may have used in the past, or go back to your courses page from the button here. The next feature that we'll be looking at is iClicker Cloud Quizzing and Asynchronous Assignments. Quizzing isn't new to iClicker. We've had our on-the-fly quizzes for years. On-the-fly quizzes give you the opportunity to give students a certain number of questions all at once, and they can answer at their own pace. With quizzing, students are not given any screenshots, even if you have screenshots turned on in your normal polling. For our on-the-fly quizzes, all you need to do is choose the name of the quiz, the number of questions that you'll be giving, and how you'd like points to be awarded to students. You can give points for correct responses and points for responding. By default, iClicker does not share your results with students. That way they can't pass the information on to any students that may be participating in the same quiz later. You can also choose to share those results if you'd like to, and you can also make that available in your course settings at a later date. Once you have everything set, you can go ahead and click the Start Quiz option, and you'll need to have somewhere where the students can see those questions. You can put them all up on the front of your screen at the start of class. You can hand them out a piece of paper with the questions on it, and even give them a packet of questions to answer at their own pace. As a student, they'll need to join class, and they'll see their answer options available to them. Just like with normal polling, all students need to do is select their answer that they believe to be correct. They can change their answer as often as they like, as long as that quiz is still running and they haven't yet submitted their answers. Once they hit to submit, you'll see that there is a statement agreeing that they are not plagiarizing, cheating, or giving or receiving unauthorized aid. Once they agree to that, they can go ahead and click Submit Quiz, and they're done with the quiz. Once a student has submitted their quiz, they do not have a way to reopen that. When you've satisfied that you no longer have any students waiting to submit, you can click the Stop button here, and you'll see that you have the option to not end if you need to let that keep running, or click End Quiz. Just like with the students, once you end a quiz, there is not a way to reopen that. We do now have a new way to run quizzing with our pre-created quizzing option. This allows you to upload questions so that students can see screenshots. It allows you to randomize your questions. And just like with our on-the-fly quizzing, students will answer at their own pace. To use this feature, go to your class page at iClicker.com and find the quizzing option on the left-hand side of your page. From here, you'll see a button at the top right-hand corner that says Create. And just like with on-the-fly quizzing, you'll choose a name for the day. You can choose the points that you want to give for correct responses and for responding. Choose whether or not you'd like to share those results with students, and randomize questions. To create these quizzes, you'll need to have some kind of presentation software where each slide is its own question. So slide 1 is question 1, slide 2 is question 2, and so on. You need to download that into a PDF format, and you can either click and drag or choose your file from your settings. Once you have that, you can click Next, and you'll see that your quiz has been created. If you have any slides you'd like to remove, you can use the trash can icon on the right-hand side of the page. And with pre-created quizzing, you have two options: multiple choice and short answer questions. These can be pre-graded if you'd like, especially with multiple choice questions. And you can give correct keywords to put into the short answer option here. Once you have that created, this will be available to you in your iClicker toolbar. Once you're ready to deploy the quiz out to your students, from your iClicker toolbar, you'll find the button that says Quiz and see any pre-created quizzing down here at the bottom. Once you choose that quiz and click Start Quiz, your students will see their answer options available as well as those screenshots. As you see, it is randomizing the quizzing right here. Again, just like on the fly quizzing, you'll see that the students must agree that they are not plagiarizing, cheating, or giving or receiving any unauthorized aid. Once they agree to that, just like with on-the-fly quizzing, they hit submit. Also, identically to the on-the-fly quizzing, students cannot open their quiz back once they've submitted. We'll stop quizzing the same way, and now we have our quizzing answers. To view the quizzing responses, you'll go to your iClicker Cloud class history page, view the quiz that you'd like to grade, and grade the answers just like you do with polling. With quizzing, you can leave feedback for your students. See that our answers are now graded. For our pre-created quizzes, you'll see the same option here, along with the screenshots that we took. As you see, we have our pre-graded answers here. And we can go in and find our responses and grade those just like we do in short answer questions and polling. Our next feature is our assignments feature. Assignments let students work on their own schedule at their own pace. This can be done before or after class and is meant to be helpful, especially for asynchronous courses. To create an assignment, you can find that in your course page under the Assignments tab. Find the Create button at the top and fill in the information here. Very similarly to quizzing, you can enter the name of the assignment, choose an available date and due date, as well as specific times you'd like things to be submitted. You can choose points for a correct response and points for responding. And just as we did with quizzing, we'll create a presentation where each slide is its own question. Download that into a PDF format. Either choose your file or click and drag into this box. We'll go ahead and click Next at the bottom right-hand corner. And from here, we have some of the same options as quizzing. But in addition to multiple choice and short answer, we also have numeric and target questions available. Just like with quizzing, we can remove any questions that we no longer need and choose the question type that we'd like to use. Just like with quizzing, we can go in and pre-grade these. Enter in key words that may be used for correct answers to pre-grade short answer, as well as numeric. And we can pre-grade areas for our target questions by clicking and dragging to make anything in that box be correct. We'll go ahead and click Create Assignment. And now that assignment will be available at the date and time that we suggest to the students, as well as the submission date. In the student view, once an assignment is available to students, they'll see a notification on the notification bell at the top. By clicking on that assignment, students can go ahead and participate by answering questions just as they would during class. Students can review their answers until the due date or until they submit their assignment. Once they submit, just as with quizzing, they cannot go back into that assignment any longer. Back in the instructor view, we can see how many submissions have come in, view the assignment, and grade after class. Once a question has been graded, you'll see the graded icon here next to the question. Once the submission date and time have passed, you'll be able to find past quizzes under the Past Quizzes button here at the top. In your gradebook, under Details, you can see the assignment information here. This information will not show up until that submission date and time have passed. Our next feature is our group polling. Group polling can be set up ahead of time in your class page. If you look here under the button that says People, you'll see a button at the top that says Groups. If you click Create Groups, you'll see you have a couple of different options to get students into your groups. You can automatically create groups by choosing either the number of groups or number of students that you want per group, or you can manually create groups on your own. From here, you'll choose the number of groups that you want and select the students that you'd like to add to a particular group. From there, if you'd like, you can automatically assign ungrouped students as well. Once you've done that, you'll click Save Groups. And as a student, you'll get a notification bell at the top telling them that they've been added to a group. By clicking on that button, they can see who other members of their group are. Once you have your group set, you can open up iClicker the same way you would during a normal polling session. Just click the Start Class button. And once your iClicker toolbar opens up, you'll find a button that says Groups. The first page that opens up is a reminder to your students that they need to be able to join together to be able to have these discussions before the group's question begins. After clicking Start Groups, you'll see that the number of present students shows here, as well as the total students that should be in each group. Once you've gotten in, you can start your question just like you would a normal poll. If you click the drop-down menu, you'll see all of your answer choices that are still available for individual questions, as well as multiple choice for group questions. Once we start the question, we'll be asked which screen we want to share with students just as we normally would. And the question will begin. Students will join just like they normally do during class, and they'll see their answer options below. Students won't see their members' responses until they submit their own. Once they click, they'll start being able to see how other students in class are responding. As other responses come in, students have the ability to have the discussion between each member of their group to try to convince them that they are correct or to learn why their answer is incorrect. As they have their discussions, students can start changing their answer as long as the question is still open. Students are trying to come to a consensus answer here. Once a consensus is reached, their answer is submitted for the group. If no consensus is reached at the end of polling, the next option is for a group to have a majority answer. As long as they reach at least 51% in agreement, that will be the group's answer. If no majority and no consensus is reached, it is as though the students did not submit an answer for their group and they will receive no points. If a student chooses a correct answer, but the rest of their group chooses an incorrect answer, their points go in as an incorrect answer for all members of the group. Likewise, if a student chooses an incorrect answer and the rest of their group chooses the correct answer, that student will still receive points for the correct answer. You can also run the same question over again, or any other question, as an individual student question as well. With this question, you can see if any individual group members had the correct answer on their own prior to submitting. After class, we can view the results from the poll, just like we did any other poll in class under the class history page. When we click on that poll, we'll be able to see if it was a group answer or an individual answer, and grade the answers just as we do during a normal poll. When entered into the gradebook, there is no differentiation between whether it was a group response or an individual response, but students will receive points in the same way that they do from normal polling activities. Under the gradebook, we'll be able to see under details that students receive points just as they would during a normal polling session. The last feature that we'll look at today is our iClicker Cloud events. To find events, you'll go to your normal iClicker instructor page and look for the events button on the left-hand side. If you don't see this option available to you and are interested in using this, please contact your iClicker rep or your campus administrator to make this available. By clicking on events, we can create the event ahead of time. You'll have your primary institution, your event name, and an event description if you'd like to use one. Events must be run from the iClicker Cloud desktop software, just like normal classes. Once you have that created, you'll find the events page here. The difference between events and courses is that people participating in your event do not need to create an account ahead of time. If you click the Join Code button, people will be able to either scan the QR code, just like the quick join link in polling, or enter the URL if they're participating from a web browser. From there, they will wait for the event to begin, and then they'll click the Join Event button. Once you start an event, you'll see a toolbar pop up just like we do during normal courses. If you need to share that QR code out later with the participants, you can click the Join button here. You can leave this up on your screen during the participation session to make sure that people who may have joined late can join whenever they're ready. During your event, when you're ready to ask your first question, just like with normal polling, you click on the poll button and you'll have all the same options available to you here. We'll go ahead and click Start and choose the screen just like normal polling. Participants will see things just as the student does, with our screen sharing and our answer options down at the bottom. We can view results just like we do during normal polling. We can grade like we do during normal polling. However, the information won't be tied to any individual participating in the event. When you're done with an event, click the back arrow here and click the End option. You can end with feedback or end the event normally. When you end with feedback, it'll ask for your input on how your experience was using iClicker events. And it will ask participants to give any feedback that they may have as well. After your event, you'll be able to find the information under the Events tab on your iClicker instructor page under Past Events. Here we'll be able to go back and view the responses and grade responses if we'd like. Again, we will have this information, but it won't be tied to any individual participant. Thank you for viewing this video on our advanced features. We hope you can find these features very useful to you in the classroom, but please let us know if you have any questions. For additional support, you can go to iclicker.com/support and contact one of our tech support agents, or view our knowledge base on any of our features. You can search by keyword or key term. Again, thank you for joining today. Please let us know how we can ever help, and thank you for choosing iClicker.